Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Today we're going to blow the lid off of this whole CT scanning of sealed product. I'm going to show you how irrelevant and meaningless it actually is. No, your sealed boxes are not in jeopardy. I'm going to prove it to you here today. I've got all the math broken down in spreadsheets. You can use the same spreadsheets for yourself, do the numbers for yourself, and you'll realize the same thing I have. This is nothing more than a grading play on steroids. It still all centers around finding a copy in one of those booster packs that can grade a 10 to offset all the other costs and make it actually profitable. If you can't, it's still not profitable. Oh, and by the way, this is taking into account scanning is $0. I'm not even going to play the whole game of Alex. Once it's not 75 anymore and it's 50 and 25 and 10 and $5, everyone's going to do it and everything's going to become worthless because it's so cheap. Wrong again. So I don't ask people to do this much, but if you could help me out, please share this to everyone you know in the community. Get this information out there because it's all just good, cold, hard numbers in this video. It's not my perspective. I'm not being one of the talking heads going back and forth, giving their perspectives. I'm just giving you the numbers, and you can use the same spreadsheets to do all the numbers for yourself, and you'll realize everything I'm telling you is 100% spot on. 99% of the products in this space do not make sense to open once they reach a certain age. There are some of the newer ones I will talk about that can make sense right now, but honestly, they still don't make sense because of how hard it is to actually find the box with those cards in it. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. First up, we're taking Flashfire first. So Flashfire booster box. What you're wanting to pull is this Mega Charizard EX Secret Rare number 108 of 106. The raw copy of this card goes for somewhere between $350 and $500, depending on who you buy it from, when you catch it on the market, how the market's fluctuating that day. Meaning, you could just buy the card for $350 to $500, try to grade it a 10. If you get the 10, you make out like a bandit. If you get the 9, well, you probably still make a little money. Maybe you lose. That's besides the point, right? The whole point is it even better to go out and try to do this whole scanning box play, or is it better to just try to scan the top hit in the set? So first up, Flashfire booster box goes for about $28.16 plus $25 shipping. That was the last auction. That's the price we're going to use. You can't even find this box in the market this cheap if you want to buy it now, but we're going to take into account the last sale because that's fair. Next up, booster packs. So you can sell off the booster packs on eBay or TCG Player. On eBay, they go in the 40s and 50s. On TCG Player, they go for a little more in the 60s. However, they sell very, very scarcely. And so I was fair with it. I just took an average of both, $60 a pack. Is that fair? $60 a pack is what you can get per pack when you sell them off. Now, if you do hit the 10, last one at auction went for $17.75 plus 4 shipping. If you hit the 9, you get crushed, $310 plus shipping. Like it always is. You hit a 9, you lose. If you hit a 10, you win. That's how grading is. All right. How hard is it to get a 10? Well, in layman's terms, no. You won't get a 10. 1,591 graded, only 176 10s in existence. Very, very difficult. Now, let's break all this down into numbers in the spreadsheet, guys. So first off, this is what your PSA 10 Charizard looks like, $1,779.02. Your 35 loose packs at $60 a piece go turn into $2,100. 35 packs, because again, remember, we opened the box and opened one of the packs. So you have 35 left. Now, grading costs are going to cost $100. Saying, Alex, that sounds high. No, it isn't. If you go look at PSA, they're going to upcharge you for a card this expensive. It's going to cost $75. You got to ship it there. They're going to insured ship it back to you. It's going to usually cost somewhere around $100 after all the shipping fees. So $100 to grade the card. 15% is pretty standard if you take fees and shipping into account. So I think that's a pretty, good number to use. So 15% of that item is going to be $266.86. You have a 14.12 profit. Sell off the 35 loose packs, which again is going to take a lot of time to sell that many Flashfire packs. A lot of time, a lot of energy. But after you do all that, after 15% fees and shipping, $315, you're left with $1,785. $3,197 total minus the booster box cost gives you a profit of $356. Mind you, I did not take into account the scanning costs. Even if scanning was free or $5, you still got to ship this box to the scanning company, have it shipped back to you, and pay the scanning fees, whatever they are. Not to mention, you got to hope and pray that first box you send actually has the Charizard in it. If it doesn't, got to ship another one. Pay the shipping, pay the scanning fees, pay the shipping back. Obviously, honestly, a lot of this profit will probably be wiped out by the time you pay all that and find the box with the Charizard in it. Guys, reach out to me privately if you want to do all this work and you have $2,840 burning a hole in your pocket. I'll show you much easier ways to make $350 or less in this hobby than going through all this trouble. Just saying. So If you get the 9, which is more likely, you're not going to be that person that gets a 10. You're not that lucky. But let's say you get the 9. Yeah, $315 minus grading costs minus fees and shipping. The same loose packs minus fees and shipping. You're left with $2,037 minus the booster box cost. $803 loss. This isn't taking into account all the boxes that you had to scan and ship and then have shipped back to you from the scanning company, meaning you're probably closer to a $900 or more loss trying this play. Guys, you'd be better off just buying a whole bunch of these mint Charizards and trying to grade a 10 instead of going through all this. Just going to throw it out there. So no, your flash fire boxes are not in jeopardy. This is what a lot of people don't understand is they don't get these boxes we have, right? This breakthrough box. I don't own this in hopes the secret rare Mewtwo's are inside. I hold this because I want to collect the mint sealed copy of this box. I don't give a crap what's in this box. I never will. I value the box itself, not the cards that could be inside. And that's what you have to understand where sealed product derives its value. It's not based off the gamble of what's inside. It's based off how scarce those boxes get over time. The box itself becomes the collectible, not the gamble of what could be inside. And that's what throws a lot of people off, I think. But moving on. Team up. We're taking team up. So the Latios goes for about $900 to $1,000 raw near mint. That's what you can buy the card for. So you could buy it for about $900 to $1,000. You could grade it. If it grades a 10, well, you have the 10. If it grades 9, you have the 9. 10, you make money. 9, you break even, lose a little money, make a little money. Same thing it's always been with grading. Now, if you want to go the box route and try to scan it, last one sold $23.75 TCG Player. Last one on eBay went for around the same price. So we're just going to take $23.75. It's a good number. I think it's a fair price. That's what Team Up's worth. Now, Team Up booster packs, $50 plus $5 shipping on eBay. Same thing on TCG Player. Lowest listing is $50 plus 5 shipping. That's what things are selling for. So they're $55 booster packs. That's what we're going to use as the number. A PSA 10 goes for about $2,300 and the PSA 9 goes for $1,025 plus 5 shipping. So those are all the numbers, guys. How hard is it to grade? It's actually pretty easy. 1423 10s out of 3,045 total graded. Just under a 50% gem rate. Now, remember, this is just what's sent in with already pre-graded cards, meaning it's actually probably a little harder to actually pull a PSA 10 candidate out of a pack. So it's probably closer to like 40% of the time you actually pull it, but we're going to use it closer to 50% gem rate, a little easier to grade. So that's a good thing. So let's look at the numbers, how they break down. So PSA 10, $2,300, $100 grading cost because it's going to be in that higher tier. $345 for shipping and fees. Leaves with $1,855. $55 of booster packs times 35 packs minus $288 fees and shipping. Leaves you with $1,636. You got $34.91 minus the box cost. Leaves you with a profit of $11.15. Now, hold on. Now, again, we didn't pay for scanning, shipping to the scanning company, shipping back. We took into account you got the first box you tried, had that Latios in there. If it didn't, you have to keep sending more and more to the scanning company, trying again and again and again. Doesn't make sense, right? But anyway, think about this. $11.15 profit. I just told you could buy the raw card for $900 to $1,000. You could grade it. And if it gets a 10, guess what? You're left with the same profit. Why go through all this work to scan the box, rip it, try to sell 35 loose packs, take all the time and energy it takes to do that when you can just go buy the raw card and grade it? By the way, I just did this. I bought it at Kansas City Collecticon raw. I graded it. It got a 10 and I made this profit. You don't have to do this. It's literally a grading play on steroids, guys. There's no reason to rip these boxes. Your team up boxes are safe, I assure you. Because if you get the 9 and it's worth $1029.99 after grading costs, shipping and fees, the loose packs, shipping and fees, you're left with $24.11 minus the box cost. You have a $35 profit. Now, once you ship the boxes to your scanning facility, they scan it and ship it back to you. That eats away all of this profit. You're left with a break even. Guess what? If you grade the PSA 9, that's also a break even. Although in that case, you didn't have to take on as much risk. And it's just literally the same exact thing. Why would anyone be ripping these boxes when they can just grade the main hit? It makes no sense, guys. Wake up. You're being led astray by all the drama, all the news, everyone freaking out. There's nothing to freak out about. Your sealed products are safe. Now, everyone knows me. I am not I am no one that stands up for vintage. I think modern is much better investment than vintage is. So I have no bias here. Base set. Are your vintage boxes safe? Very safe, actually. So Base set, there's a lot of different sales out there. It's all over the place. I did go back to eBay's back-end Terapeak research where they let you know exactly what it ended for if it was best offer taken. So it's been going up. You got a June, August, June. This August one, I looked at it. It seems fishy. It looks a little fake to me. Even the title, the seller, I didn't like it, so I didn't take this sale. The most recent sale is 14,000. If you go look at what they're listed at, the lowest listing on the market right now is 16,000. So I think 14,000 is very reasonable. You can beat me up on that, but that's what I took for my data point. As far as the packs go, they are all over the place from 300 to 500, depending on, if it's light or heavy. And so, you can beat me up on these prices as well, and that's fine. I took 325 for light packs, 500 for heavy packs. The reason I did that, it equals up to, if you take 12 heavies and 24 lights, it's almost 14,000, just under. So the box is a little bit of a premium. So I think it's a fair price. All the math works out. Again, beat me up on it. I don't care. That's what I think a fair price is. So the raw Charizard, here's one I found in the market. It looks pretty nice, pretty minty, a lot of different pictures. So look, you could have bought this one for $500, just kind of grade it yourself. But if you want to say, well, it's closer to a PSA 9 price where PSA 9s are going for about 1,000. So say the raw copy is $900 to $1,000. I don't care what you use for a raw copy, but a raw copy of Charizard is somewhere between $500 to $1,000. Okay. PSA 10 is going to go. The last sale is from the Pokemon Network himself, $11,799 PSA 10. And then the 9 goes for $10.50 with $9 shipping in a PSA 9. Now, how hard is this to grade? Extremely. The best answer I can give you is no, you're not going to get a 10. 483 10s out of 61,000 graded. Yeah, you're not getting the 10. Let's just pretend you did, though, just for the sake of this argument. Okay. You got the 10 Charizard somehow, some way. So you found a box for 14 grand, which again, you can't even find right now. It's not on the market. So you had to find one at auction or make a private deal, whatever it may be. You found one for 14 grand. Okay. You graded the Charizard. It got $11,799. Grading costs are $550. Now, the grading costs go up a lot because you can see it's going to go up to the walkthrough because it's over a $10,000 value. So it's going to be $500 plus shipping there, shipping back. Okay. $550 to grade it. Fees and shipping. I took 3.5% because Arizona TCG, someone I'm sponsored by, they'll take consignments for $10,000 cards for 3.5%. All they're going to charge you. And so there's other consignment services that do similar deals. So I took 3.5% to be fair. Only going to cost you $412 to sell this card. All right. It's still going to cost you 15% to sell the packs, but I just figured I'd be fair with it. So you're left with 10, 8, 36, 35 loose packs. I have 500 for the 11 heavies that are left because we opened one of the heavies, and then 325 for the lights that are left. Gives you 13.3 in packs minus your shipping and fees. You're up with 11,305, 22,141 total minus the box cost. You're left with 81.41. Now, couldn't you have just tried to buy or crack PSA 9s and grade like 2, 3, 4, 5 Charizards to get the same result? If you get a 10, you're left with the same amount of profit, then go through all this madness and crack vintage boxes and find vintage boxes and then try to sell off 35 packs. It's ridiculous, guys. It's literally the same profit you're going to get if you grade the raw single yourself. You can go find raw singles. You don't have to go crack packs and crack boxes. Same thing. If you get a 9, you get crushed. You get absolutely hammered. You get the PSA 9, grading costs, shipping, fees and shipping, right? Sell the loose packs, fees and shipping. You're left with 12,105. The box is 14 grand. You lost $1,800, $94. This is before the cost of scanning, shipping to the scanning company, shipping back to you. So you're probably going to lose close to $2,000. Here, you're going to get the same profit you're going to make grading the raw copy of a card yourself. Guys, I think your vintage boxes are just fine too. They're safe. No one's cracking their vintage sealed boxes to pull a hit. It's the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. Now, everyone always says, Alex, we'll show the bear side of the argument. Okay, the bear side. There are some sets out there currently that aren't old yet. Evolving Skies, Champions Path, some of these that have extremely high raw value cards, and it makes sense to actually crack them and do all that. So let me show you the math, though, okay? First, let me show you where I got the data. I always like to, show you where I get it. So, obviously, the Moonbryon, okay, Evolving Skies, it's still selling raw for around $800. $800 raw card, okay? If you look at how hard it is to hit, 1 out of 1,666 packs. That's how hard it is to pull this Moonbryon, all right? How hard is it? And then if you want to grade it, obviously, send it through the $75 tier. But we're not even going to talk about grading it, okay? We're just going to show you the Moonbryon. So I had 900, actually. I gave you a benefit of the doubt. So it's really going for 800. Let's say it was still going for $900 raw, okay? No grading costs, fees and shipping to sell it, you're left with 741. 35 loose packs left in the Evolving Skies box. 455 minus fees and shipping up to 386. 1127 minus the box cost, $700 Evolving Skies box. You made $427. All right. Here's where the math breaks down. 1 in 1,666 packs equals 47 booster boxes. Meaning, even if scanning only costs you $5 for a whole box, that's $235 you're going to cost in scanning to go through 47 boxes to find that one with the Moonbryon. Okay? Shipping all those boxes to and from the scanning facility, how much does that cost? Realistically, you're still left with around $0 profit. Even whatever profit you are left with, I can show you infinitely better ways than going through all this madness to make $100 or $200 in this hobby. Guys, you're safe. To find a Champion's Path ETB with one of the Charizards in it, how many are you going to have to scan? How much of your profit is going to be taken away by the scanning and the shipping back and forth to actually find that Charizard, rip it, sell the loose packs? Guys, when you hear news like this, always jump to the pragmatic approach. Don't get all emotional. When you look at the numbers, your emotions go away. You can breathe again and you say, oh, okay, we're okay. We're fine. Nothing's going to happen here. And that's where we're at, guys. Like, the math doesn't make sense to go through all the scanning, even if it was next to nothing cost, with shipping the fees back and forth, with what it actually costs to sell the packs, what the actual cards go for in PSA 9, PSA 10 raw grades. It's really just a grading play on steroids, guys. It really all depends on pulling the card, getting a PSA 10. And if you pull the card, you get a PSA 9. After everything's said and done, you're breaking even, losing money, making very small amounts of money. Some of the newer products, like I said, you can make a little bit, but honestly, finding a box with actually has one of those hits in it, it's near impossible. And by the time you actually find one, you're probably eating up all your profits with all the fees and shipping back and forth and going through all that madness. And so, no, I don't think even if scanning gets cheaper, this is going to be a big deal in the hobby. Please share this to as many people as you can in the hobby so they understand the math behind it. And all the sealed investors out there, you can rest easy. I already know I'm going to get a lot of hate comments for all the people that hate sealed investing and think everything should be free. Feel free to leave those comments. You can say, Alex, you're just trying to protect your investment with this video. Not trying to do that at all. I'm trying to stay emotions out of this. I'm not trying to be a talking head giving my perspective. I'm just showing the math, guys. And the math tells me it doesn't make sense. That's all I got, guys. See you back here in a new video soon. I'm out.